we're going to be taking a look at gameplay for one of my viewers' major pilot. As he plays the match, I'll be on the lookout for key moments. Let's begin with your perks. Whisper seems like a bad pick on Doctor, as his power already makes finding survivors easy. Overcharge might buy you some time, but it depends on how often you kick gens, and how good the survivors are at hitting skill checks. Distressing will increase the radius of your static blast, but at the cost of giving survivors an earlier warning about your approach. And No One Escapes Death could help you secure a kill during the endgame, but it could just as well turn out to be a wasted perk slot. Static Blast makes Doctor's early game a bit easier than other killers. What was this survivor doing? She could have kept running towards the shack and had the perfect setup for looping you, but instead she ran the opposite way into a dead zone. Then she tried to throw a pallet right after you shocked her, seemingly unaware that being shocked prevents survivors from vaulting or dropping pallets for a short time. I have a feeling that this player is going to die early. Following the trail, since you don't have any other leads at the moment, that's fine. I'm curious, why did you want to use your static blast here? You're in the middle of a chase, so you're just slowing yourself down. You also don't need it to find anyone because there's somebody right in front of you. And finally, you're at the edge of the map, where it's unlikely to hit multiple targets. Despite all these points, however, it actually winds up working in your favor, because it revealed a higher priority target working on a gen, and you do break the chase to go after her. So good job there. Pesky blast mines. Not much you could do there. Hang on. You broke that chase to kick the gen. Sure, you got stunned by the blast mine, but why not kick it again? It's right in front of you and you have overcharge. It could have bought you some time. Looks like you ran over here because you saw your hallucination pointing at the gen. But given how long it took you to get here, and how large your tear radius is, the survivor had plenty of time and warning to hide. Now, this was a helpful static blast. It was during a chase, yes, but it provided some useful information. Or rather, it would have been useful had you used it. You shocked 3 survivors, 2 of which were behind you. Instead of chasing this David into a corner where the gen was already completed, you could have turned around and put pressure on the other survivors in the area. Forcing 2 survivors to reposition would have bought you more time than just chasing 1. Good shot there. When you saw David vault this window next to the breakable wall, you should have stopped right there and destroyed it. Until this wall is out of the way, the window next to it provides an easy escape route for survivors. You had another chance here to break the gen, but didn't take it. You brought overcharge into this match. Why not use it? This is a perfect picture of where this whole chase with David led you. You can tell by your hallucinations that David's team is beginning risk-free repair progress on gens while you followed him to the opposite end of the map. I'm going to give you a broken key for this because it was a big mistake that I hope you remember not to make again. This was 100% Jake's fault. He didn't respect your presence and kept working on the gen rather than repositioning himself. Good job punishing him. So this was another questionable static blast. Once again, you're using it mid-chase. And you're in a corner of the map where it's unlikely to hit many survivors. Terrible attempt at looping by Jake. He could have lasted longer running in a straight line. When you're that far ahead of the killer, you have some time before needing to run to a pallet or window.
Yeah.
David, what are you doing, man? Unhooking your teammate when the killer's right around the corner? What a gentleman! Jake courteously waited at the door for you to arrive, then offered you the god pallet on a silver platter. What's next? Is he gonna hang up your coat for you too? But seriously, you could have made a play here. As you can see by the survivor's portrait, Jake is in Madness level 3, and you have an add-on equipped that makes it so survivors in Madness level 3 constantly hear the heartbeat as if you're right behind them. That being said, Jake had no idea how close you were to the door he was camping, so you likely could have swung through the pallet and downed him before he could react. So here you are at a decision point. Chase the Fang or chase the David.
Make your choice.
They're both about the same distance away and running the same direction. So who did you go for? Well, the one major difference between them is that David is injured and Fang is not. So targeting the weaker survivor would have been the better move. So you broke the chase with Fang to injure Kate, working on the gen. While not a bad decision, the better move would have been to commit to the Fang since there weren't any pallets or windows nearby that could have saved her. Also, the generator wasn't in danger of being completed just yet, so it was lower in priority than downing Fang. Looks like Kate mind-gamed herself. A good use of static blast here. It helps you find the injured Fang. Is this Fang a bot? She didn't even try to loop you. Another unneeded use of static blasts. You already knew where these two survivors were. Against more experienced players, the movement speed reduction caused by charging static blasts would have allowed them to get to a pallet or window. Luckily for you, this Fang is a complete potato. Make that 2 potatoes. Oh, Kate, what the spud were you thinking? Okay, let's talk about this. So you already know your power prevents survivors from taking actions like vaulting windows and pallets. But sometimes, even if there's a pallet involved, zapping survivors isn't the right play. You can see this loop has 2 optimal points to shock survivors from, here and here. Each time you shock, you lower your movement speed by 33%. So if you're trying to deny the pallet by shocking the survivor every time you reach one of these points, you'll wind up running at about the same speed the survivor is, meaning you'll never catch them. So what should you have done? Just break the pallet. It was a great situation to do so. There was a dead end to Dave's left, and you already broke the shack pallet to the right, so breaking this pallet would mean you'd only have to deal with the shack window, which is easier for Doctor than other killers, because you can simply vault the window and shock the survivor if they try to use it again. But it is better to break a chase with a survivor that's giving you trouble, than spending the rest of the match trying to catch them, which is what you do here. So good job. I'm sure you already know this, but your hallucination looks in the direction of the survivor they spawned by. This little guy just spawned a few seconds ago, so the logical thing to have done would have been to glance to your left and see if they were on top of the hill. But you do manage to find them anyway, thanks to static blast. Well, you caught Jake, but mostly because he stopped to catch his breath.
Yeah.
Oof, you had him in the palm of your hand, but that early cancel on your lunge messed you up. Then that dead hard made you miss a second time. Tough luck. But also, let's talk about how you handle this chase. The pallet in this tile is one of the safer ones in the game, so it would have been a better idea to have broken it immediately. Also, you need to run the loop the proper way. If you're chasing him around clockwise, you're giving him access to the window. Whereas if you had chased him counterclockwise, he would have been forced to vault the window at an awkward angle, which he would have been able to deal with more easily. Kate didn't have any time to run after completing that gen. Sometimes that's the way it goes though. Sacrificing your life for the final generator. David is in some serious trouble. The gates are on the opposite end of the map. You'll probably catch him before you can reach them. And down he goes. That's 4 kills. Not a bad match. I think Major Pilot showed a fair understanding of Dead by Daylight's key mechanics. He knew to use the shock therapy to deny pallets, watch for hallucinations to find survivors, and switch to higher priority targets when called for. However, he was penalized with a broken key for allowing a survivor to lead him to the edge of the map while the rest of the enemy team were completing objectives. In addition, Major Pilot made some mistakes that noticeably impacted his performance. Using static blast at the wrong times, prioritizing a healthy survivor over an injured one, and attempting to shock a player at a loop where he should have just broken the pallet. These were all misplays that could have resulted in defeat. Although Major Pilot did win the match, I feel the survivor's inexperience contributed to his victory. Reviewing these mistakes will be vital if he wants to compete against tougher players. But I'm confident that he can learn and improve. So thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for future content.